we are trying to get my niece out of foster care in Georgia.
Okay. And is that, you finding that an easy thing to do?
No, it is not an easy thing. So
Anya and Chris. Folks, are you there?
yes, we are.
All right. So I'd like you to tell the audience who you are and what you're trying to do, and then go ahead and tell us what has happened.
Okay. My name is Tanya. My husband's name is Chris. We are trying to get my niece out of foster care in Georgia.
Okay. And is that, you finding that an easy thing to do?
No, it is not an easy thing. So my niece was originally taken into custody in the beginning of 2022. I'm sorry, 2020. I'm sorry. As family, we were never notified. So my brother reached out to me and said that he was called by CPS or whoever, an investigator, and said that there were some allegations and they wanted him to bring the baby down so that they could lay eyes on her and make sure that she was okay. My brother took the child down there. In the beginning, the mom was there. They said that the mom was very uncooperative. However, my brother could not say where the baby could be placed because he was not on the birth certificate. So in the beginning, while the baby was still in CPS custody, they originally gave my niece to the maternal grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She stayed there a day or two, and for whatever was going on in that home, CPS went out and took the baby and put the baby directly into foster care. So that's when my brother notified me, and he was just irate because he kept thinking, they're trying to take my child, they're trying to take my child. He wanted my husband and I to see what was going on. But he didn't have any information to give us. He just knew that the baby was taken by CPS. So I called around and I got the information of the CPS worker who had originally removed the child from the home. I spoke with him in length. However, he could not give me a lot of details because he kept saying my brother wasn't on the birth certificate, therefore he had any rights. But at that point, he said that there was nothing that he could do because the baby had been placed in DCS custody. During this whole time, no one contacted us because technically we were not family without paternity being established. So the CPS worker gave us the information to the social worker. So I contacted the social worker. We spoke for a while. Once again, I was informed that there was nothing that we could do at that point because paternity needed to be established. Meanwhile, while we were waiting on paternity to be established, they let my husband and I be involved in everything. We were involved in the team and family meetings. We did a Zoom with them. They seemed to be pro-family at that point, just pending the paternity results. Fast forward, we were still involved. June of 2020, my brother received the paternity results. By this time, he was on his way to jail. He had a year to serve, which they knew about. He had a year to serve for a prior incident. So he had 1 year day for date, and he was due to turn himself in on June 16th. They gave him the results on June 15th. However, that time he was beginning the intake process to go to jail to serve his year. The ICPC back because the state did not include the proof of paternity. Well, without the proof of paternity, you can't try to give the child to a relative because we have to prove that it's paternity. So they sent it back. During this time, our caseworker went on maternity leave, so we got another caseworker. We're in this constant email cycle. Hey, what's going on with the case? Do you know what they need? What paperwork do they need? We're going back and forth. This time, the supervisor called me and said, hey, we should, we sent out the ICPC. You should have your niece by Christmas. So we're elated. Meanwhile, we're taking the classes and all of this. Well, our caseworker here said, well, I don't know how they can tell you that because the ICPC process takes a while. We have to come out. We have to do these home studies. We have to do all of that. Fast forward, they send the ICPC back to Alabama. To Georgia. By this time, we're excited because we're thinking, oh my goodness, we're about to get my niece. Well, my brother calls and he's like, sister, something's not right. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, they kept moving his court date up to do the TPR. And we're like, what TPR? They're telling us that we're going to get this child. So there's this thing. So something just told us something is not right. So we decided to retain an attorney for us based off of information that was given to us by our caseworker here. So we retained an attorney. The attorney filed a motion for us to get access into the case. That was denied. The state attorney, as well as the guardian ad litem and the caseworker, they all said that we should have gotten involved from the beginning. Well, we have been involved from the beginning. We've been involved since 2020. It is now 2021. We were just waiting on the proof of paternity and the ICPC. Well, they're saying that we should have retained an attorney. Well, we had no clue that we needed to retain an attorney when the whole time they've been telling us that we're going to get this child. Meanwhile, we had started face-to-face visitations. Everything was going great. Well, we had a hearing. The judge denied our motion because the state, the guardian ad litem, they all felt that since my niece had become to know the foster parents as their parents, and the foster parents viewed my niece as their child and they love them. That's what they cited on the paperwork, that it would not be in the best interest for us to get involved or get access into the case. So we decided we would now hire my brother an attorney because there were so many things that went wrong in this case that we're just like, something is not right. So we then hired my brother an attorney. She's looking into it and she's finding she has all kinds of findings of what's going wrong with the case. So we hired another attorney because we're thinking, okay, if the first attorney is not going to fight, she would never file a motion to appeal what the judge's decision. So we decided we would hire another attorney because we wanted someone to fight for us. After all, we're in this to get my niece. So we hired another attorney. The attorneys are working together. Fast forward, that attorney filed an appeal on the motion to try to get us access into the case. We went to court for that in June of 2021, and we were all set to go. And all of a sudden, the guardian ad litem, she doesn't feel well, so they wanted us to rush it. So, of course, our case wasn't heard. Mm-hmm. So we agreed. Once the judge went ahead and granted us visitation, he said that the child needs to be with family. So he granted us 2-week visitations every 6 weeks. We were ecstatic. He said that there was nothing that we had done to delay the case, which is what the caseworker was saying. Originally, they said that we said we would only keep her for 3 or 4 weeks. When they couldn't keep that story, then it went to we were doing it for the money. it's just been every time one of their stories proved to be untrue, they go to another story to keep us away from the child. Fast forward, we had everyone agreed that we would have a motion to get access into the case December of 2020. I'm sorry, 2021. We went there. We're all ready for court. We're excited. We had 3 days, December and 2 in January of this year. We get there. Our attorneys call or say who their witnesses are going to be. And all of a sudden, the state attorney filed a verbal motion to dismiss our motion.
Okay, hold on a second.
Based on
Hold on a second. I want you to stop the story right there, and we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want you to pick up the story right there, okay?
Yes.
All right, this is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. We have to take a commercial break. We'll be back right after these messages.